Is Manchester City the right club for Haaland? Ever since he made his professional debut at the age of 15 in 2017, the Norwegian prodigy has fired his way to the pinnacle of football, establishing himself as the most highly sought-after young strikers in the world. After successful spells at Molde, RB Salzburg, and Borussia Dortmund, Erling Haaland finally secured a big money move to Manchester City. While this seemed like a match made in heaven, things haven't exactly panned out that way. Pep Guardiola's favored League Cup has gone to the red side of Manchester this season, and he is trailing a relentless Arsenal in the Premier League. Where have things gone wrong for Manchester City, and is Haaland to blame? We'll be exploring the striker's impact on the citizens in this video. But before we get started, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell to stay in the loop. Breaking records in Austria and Germany. Following an exceptional record of 29 goals in 27 games as a teenager with FC Salzburg in Austria, Haaland soon progressed to the top tier of European football by joining Bundesliga team Dortmund during the mid-season break of the 2019-2020 season. The transfer, which involved an initial fee of 20 million euros, was confirmed on January 1, 2020, and his scoring prowess at Dortmund was nothing short of astounding too, having amassed 85 goals in just 88 games, giving him a remarkable average of 0.96 goals per game. Within this, he has notched up 61 goals in 66 Bundesliga games, 15 goals in 13 Championship League matches, 8 goals in 7 DFB Pokal games, and 1 goal in 2 German Super Cup appearances. In total, he has scored a goal every 83.8 minutes he has spent on the pitch for Dortmund, with an incredible first 50 league goals achieved in just 50 Bundesliga games. Haaland's performance was truly remarkable. Haaland's goal-scoring record at Dortmund provides insight into the type of striker he has developed into: a visceral, instinctive, and powerful forward. 96% of his 85 competitive goals have been scored from inside the penalty area, with only 3 goals from outside the box. Despite being predominantly left-footed, he has also netted a significant number of goals with his right foot, and his aerial ability is equally impressive. In summary, Haaland is the complete package when positioned in front of the goal. In addition to his astute positioning inside the penalty area, Haaland's impressive speed also plays an important key role in opening up goal-scoring opportunities for himself. A prime example in his second goal in Dortmund's 2-0 away victory against Wolfsburg during the 2020-2021 season, where he utilized his raw speed to cover the entire length of the pitch and score a memorable solo goal, clocking in at an impressive 22 miles per hour. Of the 85 goals that the Norwegian international has scored for Dortmund, 71 have come from open play, with 63 being assisted by his teammates. Notably, more than half of these goals have been scored with his first touch, which is a testament to the innate ability to time his runs to perfection and apply the finishing touch to attacking moves. However, it is worth mentioning that 11 of these goals were penalty kicks, which doesn't take away from the impressive tally. Haaland has demonstrated that he is not solely focused on scoring goals, as evidenced by his significant contribution in creating goals. He has amassed a total of 23 assists for Dortmund in all competitions, comprising of 19 in Bundesliga, 2 in Champions League, and 1 in each German Cup and Super Cup. This highlights his versatility and ability to contribute to the team's success in various ways. This is partly what attracted Pep Guardiola to the young prodigy when looking for the missing piece to his high-possession system. Manchester City homecoming. After much speculation, it was finally revealed on June 13, 2022, that Erling Haaland was set to move from Borussia Dortmund to Manchester City, the then reigning champions of the Premier League. Sources suggested that City triggered Haaland's release clause by offering €60 million for the transfer, and he is expected to sign a 5-year contract with a weekly salary of £375. Haaland's contract includes a release clause worth €200 million, which becomes effective in the summer of 2024 after 2 years. Interestingly, this move marks somewhat of a return to Haaland's roots, as his father and current agent, Erling Haaland, played for Manchester City from 2000 to 2002, towards the end of his own career. Does he make City better or worse? There is a compelling argument that despite his immense talent, Erling Haaland has actually had a negative impact on the Manchester City as a team. Although it was thought that Haaland would be the missing key to unlock that elusive trophy at Manchester City, Pep Guardiola made an extraordinary tactical gamble by signing a player whose style of play directly opposes the principles of Man City, a team that thrives on possession domination and false nine formations. Integrating a penalty box striker like Haaland into such a team was always going to be a challenge that required radical changes. However, the results so far suggest that both the player and the team have become weaker than they were last season, and Guardiola himself is facing a tactical crisis by his own standards. While Haaland's goal-scoring record at Manchester City is impressive, at the time of this video, he has just finished scoring 5 goals against RB Leipzig. It does not necessarily mean he is contributing positively to the team. Despite his 1.37 goals per game average, which surpasses his records at previous clubs, including Borussia Dortmund, RB Salzburg, and Molde, Man City's overall scoring performance has not improved, remaining at 53 goals after 21 Premier League games, the same as last season. Therefore, it would be oversimplistic to judge Haaland's success at the club based purely on his goal-scoring statistics. It was expected that Haaland would adjust to Man City's tactical approach, but to everyone's surprise, he has become even less engaged outside of the penalty area than he was at his time at Dortmund. When comparing his statistics from this season to the last, his attempted passes per game have decreased from 15.6 to 11.7. His average number of touches per game has fallen from 33.1 to 24.2. And his progressive carries per game have dropped by almost half, from 1.89 to 1.04. Regarding the attacking aspect, Guardiola made the choice to prioritize a fast striker breaking through the middle, which resulted in sacrificing the option of having a player with an energetic, proactive playing style on the wings. This was the first time in his managerial career that he lacked that type of player. Throughout his career, from David Villa to Arjen Robben and Leroy Sane to Sterling, his teams have always relied on having that quality out wide. Guardiola has always rejected the notion of playing tiki-taka, but by sacrificing penetration from the wide areas, Man City has started to regress towards the slow and rhythmic, possession recycling game he dislikes. Guardiola's tactics require an element that disrupts the meticulous passing structures and offers a sudden and explosive point of difference. However, with Jack Grealish and Riyad Mahrez flanking Haaland, that element has been lost. Consequently, the driving run to the byline for a pullback, or the option for a switch of play over to one side and catch out an unsuspecting defense are no longer available. Furthermore, City's unpredictability has vanished, replaced by a host of playmakers weaving around a static Haaland, all facing a defensive blockade. Although Man City are performing well overall, the absence of dynamic wingers has become apparent when facing a low block against teams like Brentford, Everton, and Nottingham Forest. Haaland is often crowded out in a congested penalty area and unable to make up for the lack of piercing runs from the flanks. The statistics confirm this, with Man City's sprints per game and progressive carries per 90 down by 7% and 33% respectively compared to last season. Additionally, their number of take-ons per game and carries into the penalty area have decreased by 13% and 30% respectively. Haaland's presence in the team has a twofold effect. Firstly, he is slowing down City's attacking play, which allows opposing teams to sit back without fear of being easily penetrated. Secondly, his reputation as a rapid striker who plays on the shoulder of the last defender encourages cautious teams to retreat into a deep defensive block. This creates a vicious cycle where the City struggle to break down compact defenses and end up passing slowly with all 11 players behind the ball. It's no surprise that City's crossing has increased from 16 to 21.5 per match. Even their rivals Manchester United and Liverpool have conceded territory at home against Man City, with both teams recording possession figures of 29% and 37% respectively in the Premier League. Some argue that the recent problems in Man City's attack would not be an issue if their defense was as strong as it was last season. However, this is not the case, as they are conceding an average of 1.0 goal per game compared to 0.68 in the previous season. Haaland's presence in the starting lineup could be partly responsible for this decline. The problem lies in Man City's counterpress, which is the pressure they apply after losing the ball. The effectiveness of their counterpressure has diminished, and once the opposing team has bypassed the first wave of pressing, they can easily counterattack into the open spaces left by City's high line. While this is always a risk in attacking football, Guardiola's intentional counterpress has been ineffective this season, unlike in the past. There are two main factors contributing to this issue. Firstly, although Haaland is not slow, he only presses high up on the pitch. This explains why he has the highest number of pressures in the final third in the Premier League with 256. However, as he is not in the position of a false nine, he does not provide help to the midfield line if the ball is lost in this area. Additionally, the weight of these pressures in the 3/3 of the pitch has also changed considerably. This season, 43.8% of their pressure are in the final third, compared to just 31.6% the previous season. As a result, the middle third, now one man lighter, has become a more vulnerable area. Another reason for Man City's changing pressing statistics is Guardiola's strategy to compensate for Haaland's limited mobility across the field. Guardiola has been instructing his midfield players to move higher up to the pitch to support Haaland closely, which leaves the central midfield area empty. This change is reflected in Guardiola's recent preference for more attacking players such as Julian Alvarez, over cautious players like Ilkay Gundogan and Calvin Phillips, who have struggled for playing time even with injuries taken into account. The effect of the weakened counter-press is reflected in the statistics. Man City's PPDA has increased from 10.3 to 11.7, and their field tilt has dropped from 79.7 to 75.2. The number of progressive passes allowed per 90 has increased from 19.9 to 22.2, and the number of progressive carries allowed has increased from 10.3 to 11.4. When looking at more general data, the number of through balls allowed has almost doubled from 0.76 to 1.32, while the total number of shots allowed has increased from 6.2 to 7.5. It's no doubt that Erling Haaland is a phenomenal striker. He has broken records and achieved silverware at unlikely clubs, such as Dortmund, who have long lived in the shadow of Bayern Munich. While he is still scoring at his new club Manchester City, it really does seem as though that the two just aren't fit for each other. Can Haaland adapt to Pep Guardiola's system, or will he have to leave if Manchester City wants to win the UCL? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell for more football analysis.